Okay, we'll go see Grandpa.
We're seeing Grandpa.
Grandpa!
This Grandpa probably makes, like...
Turtles.
He does. But he looks like the kind of Grandpa who probably makes, like, stir-fry. He's got
Maybe.
that hat.
Well, it's because he's like a weird farmer or something.
Yeah.
Do you have a fishing string?
No.
What? Why would you, though?
Is there a fishing minigame we've just never done?
I don't think so. Maybe we gotta go all the way back to Dats and get a fishing string. Oh, jeez.
It's not that hard.
Ugh.
We're actually really close to the beginning because of the way this area works.
Yeah, because of the way that the logs work. But it's still just
logs.
Like this game munches on so much time. Like it just eats through it.
It's not that bad. There's far worse.
I guess. I play Monster Hunter, so yeah, there's worse.
Yeah, dude, I played Disgaea. That like is the whole point of that game is that's not an exit. The whole point of that game is to eat up your time. The level cap is 9999 and you can like fucking max out every stat by like reincarnating a jillion times, and there's like bonus dungeons that are like 1,000 levels deep.
I'm pretty sure in For You, which is a Monster Hunter game, I have sunk, I want to say 400 hours?
Wow.
It might be something more like 300 hours.
He's got a fishing string. He's just going to give it to us, I think.
Why do you have a fishing string, Samson?
Not a pole, though, right?
Yeah. Also known as tags, and were once made from moth larvae, called tegsoon.
Okay.
These days, they're made mainly from synthetic fibers, like nylon.
Thanks for the tag, I guess.
But the fishing string left in fishing areas are causing problems.
Not a fishing pole. Is this like you tie it to your toe or something and then you take a nap?
Okay, because he's got some weird eco message and like it's Samson, you can see him on screen, it makes me immediately think of like Dino Squad.
I love Dino Squad.
Oh my god. Wild birds are dying from swallowing or getting tangled in fishing string. Sigh, Commander's briefings are long.
Does this really have any relevance to the kids at home?
Probably not. How many people come from fishing villages at home? Raise your hands. Okay, I counted all of you, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, like seriously, like, is it like a fishing pole or is it like a net?
It might be a single string and he's reaching in and pulling out. I always hated that concept because I've done that before and that hurts. Like if you've got a big enough fish on the end of the string and you've got the string wrapped around a hand and you're pulling with your bare hands, it will cut right into your fingers. Like it sucks. I don't know why people do that.
I don't know. Like, the thing you see in, like, old-timey shit is that it's like, oh, it's fucking Huckleberry Finn or whoever ties a fishing line to his toe and falls asleep, and then you get a tug on your toe when a fish catches it.
Nah.
And it's like, that sounds really impractical.
It sounds like it would hurt.
I don't think that happens in Huckleberry Finn.
I don't think it does either.
I just picked that as my old-timey country folksy character, even though that's not really what that is.
I didn't want to say anything, but I was like, I'm pretty sure that never happens in Huckleberry Finn.
No, a lot of other things happen.
They pretend to be dead. Do you remember that?
Yeah, they like fake their deaths and escape from like an alcoholic father and also slavery. And they meet the lost prince of France, who is a scammer who makes them help him in a play that they put on or something.
All I remember about them pretending to be dead is that they hide out on like an island in the middle of a lake.
They don't stay there for very long.
No, but then there's this description that they give at one point where it's like, I think it's Huck Finn is just like talking about, and then we could hear the cannons, and I was like, why, as a child? And you keep reading and he goes, because bodies fill up with like gases or something but can get stuck to the bottom of a lake, they will fire cannons to try and shake the bodies loose. And I'm like, why would a child know this? this?
Because it's interesting.
It's so weird.
Probably one of those things that kids like retain knowledge of because it's so weird and cool, and they want to think about dead bodies.
So they just fire off cannons when they think people drown.
My favorite part of that book is that the ending is clearly way less serious than the shit that came before. So it's like they meet up with Tom Sawyer again, and he's like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna do some stupid shenanigans instead of actually helping you." And it's like this long ass sequence of fuckery, and it's like, is this just a different book that he just smashed into the one he was writing?
I don't even know.
I don't know. I read that a couple of years ago because it's public domain, so it was free.
I actually do come from a family that fishes an awful lot.
Sort of. I mean, your mom owns well, she doesn't own it, but she
does
manages a fish
does a
hatchery.
thing, yeah.
Like, they don't really fish so much as they create them.
Don't tell people, like, personal information. Come on.
Oh, yeah, they're going to know exactly who you are from that.
Okay, so Marcus is super impatient, I guess.
Yeah, well, who isn't impatient when they have to go fishing with their grandpa?
I like fishing.
You come from a fish family. We just established that.
Yeah, well. I like fishing with Grandpa. It does take all day. It's fine. You just gotta wait.
And this is where you have Grandpa tell you stories about
The
war
war.
or the other war. He was in both of them because he's really old.
I was in every war. From time ethereal. I don't know. What the? He caught a Digimon fish.
Well, that's the only fish to get. Oh, hello.
How did you catch a sea angel?
Be in the ocean?
Those would be deep water fish too, like very deep water.
And also the Arctic, right?
And I don't think they'd be biting on hooks.
Well, this one doesn't look like it bit on a hook. It's just here to see us. This looks like he's come to visit.
He's beeping at you.
Beep, beep,
Why?
beep.
Why is this little beepy fish here?
Beep, beep. I've always kind of liked this weird
Yeah,
fetus.
it's a super good design. And I think I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Every game that has information in it about the Diggles explicitly says this thing is not an Angemon, but somebody called it that or it's named that because it looks like an angel.
It's a sea angel.
Yeah, and it's clearly just because it's a sea angel.
It's a manaphy.
But they actively call it a sea, like MarineAngemon, and then have to go back and be like, but it's not part of that family, though. Why not just make it part of that family?
I will never stop. Oh, I killed it. I will never stop being hung up on its existence in the third series in Tamers, and that it shows up out of nowhere and is like immediately assigned to the one kid who didn't get a Diggle, and we get no explanation. They do not have a bonding moment or anything.
I love that. Like, it stows away in his pocket, and that's it.
It's like, just tell us more about this kid, like the one kid who gets no characterization.
I think he's also the one kid that gets a mega, and it's like the most useless mega.
No, it's super useful.
Well, it's useful like once, and then they never remark on the fact that it was actually very useful. Because it dispels the red.
They should have given that kid his
chaos
own episode.
Slime.
That's
garbage.
the only real problem I have with that series. Is that kid got nothing.
Yeah.
Even though there was like a big, wide ass opportunity to there's just this big exclamation point in the progression of the plot where it's like, what's up with this kid? This kid's been around since the first episode. Why doesn't he have any focus? He's got no personality. He's got nothing.
Because you get like the other kid, like, because okay, there's that weird anime cliche where you have the main character and he will always have two friends that he leaves behind when he goes off on his anime adventure.
And one of them usually is like ugly and the other one's popular or something shit like that.
And in the case of the third season of Diggles, yeah, go fight Grandpa in the next step area.
Keep going to menu instead of map select. I'm weird.
It's fine. I don't remember what the next area would be. Would it be?
I think it's the real world.
Would it be the real world? Okay.
Yeah.
But there's that weird anime cliche where they always just leave behind the two friends and don't forget to use no encounter like immediately.
Yeah.
And in the case of Potato, he totally had those two friends, and he leaves them behind.
And then
halfway through the series, they're like, "No, we're coming with you." And he's like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna come with you, and we're gonna be a part of this." And it's like they actually come with him, and they have adventures and shit. And one of them gets like a full 2 episodes dedicated to him getting a diggle, and then the last one gets a diggle literally at the last second, and it's because they are both running away from the same thing, and you get like 2 minutes of him going, "Oh, a Digimon," and it goes, "Hey."
No, you see it before that. It's like it flies into him in that giant crowd of a bunch of megas showing up. And he's like, "Oh, hey, go with everyone else. What are you running into me?" And then it decides to follow him, and it like shows up in his pocket later.
Yeah, it just lives in his pocket.
He's like, "Oh man, I got a diggle." And it's like, "That's it? That's okay. Well, does this mean you have a personality now too?"
My personality is having a diggle.
Because that was like the healer diggle, and he wound up being important for support for like one scene.
Yeah, like a single scene.
I want to say it's supposed to have
some. Oh, talk to him again.
Okay.
We may have messed this up.